Prasher, working in a healthcare company and based in Germany. In the last video, we saw the differences in orphan drug designation procedure in EU and US. In today's video, we'll see how this orphan drug designation procedure works in Japan. What are the laws or regulations related to orphan drugs in Japan? What are the regulatory bodies involved for orphan drugs in Japan? What are the criteria for classification of orphan drugs? And what are the steps to receive orphan drug designation in Japan? What to do once we have received the orphan drug designation? What are the next steps? So let's start one by one. The first question is, what are the laws or regulations related to orphan drugs in Japan? So this is the article of PMD Act, which is Pharmaceutical and Medical Device Act, which includes the requirement for orphan drug designation in Japan. This article has all the information related to orphan drugs in Japan. Second question is, what are the regulatory bodies involved for orphan drugs in Japan? So there are three main regulatory bodies in Japan which are involved in orphan drug designation process. First is Pharmaceutical and Food Safety Bureau under MHLW. Second is PMDA. I hope you all know what is PMDA. And the third is Pharmaceutical Affairs and Food Sanitation Council, that is PAFSC. What does each of these regulatory body do during the orphan drug designation procedure? We'll discuss that in the later part of this video. Now, the next question comes, what is the criteria for classifications of orphan drugs in Japan? How we will decide if we should apply for orphan drug designation or not? So, the first criteria is the prevalence of condition in Japan, which must be less than 50,000 people in Japan. Okay. Second condition is the medical need, meaning the drug or medical device should be for the treatment of serious diseases. There is no appropriate alternative drug or medical device or treatment available for that disease. Even if the drug or device is available, your product is of significant benefit compared to that drug. Okay. Third is the possibility of the development. There should be a theoretical rationale for the use of the product for the target disease, and the development plan should be appropriate. Once you know what are the criteria for orphan drug designation in Japan, you can apply for this designation at any stage in the development of a product, non-clinical or clinical or prior to MA application during any of these phases. However, the companies prefer to submit the application early enough so that they get benefits of the health authorities' incentive. We have discussed this in detail in all the previous videos, right? So the similar concept applies here too. So what are the steps and how to apply for orphan drug designation in Japan? Let's see that one by one. These are the steps to gain orphan drug designation in Japan. First is consultation phase, which is optional, in which we can take MHLW advice before submitting the application. It's like taking a meeting from health authority, right? Then you submit the ODD application, and then MHLW review or evaluate your application, and in the last, MHLW communicate the decision to sponsor. Let's see each of these steps one by one. First step is consultation with MHLW. We need to submit a consultation application form to Pharmaceutical and Food Safety Bureau of MHLW. MHLW notifies us the date of consultation, and then consultation is typically provided in a 30-minute session. Okay, this is like a meeting or the advice from health authority. After the consultation, the application is submitted to MHLW. But what content do we include in application of this orphan drug designation, orphan drug or medical device designation? So this is the content for this orphan drug designation application. This includes application date, data on number of patients, data on medical needs, the rationale for the submission, and lots of other information, right? Along with PMDA, MHLW conduct preliminary evaluation for eligibility. After the preliminary evaluation, further evaluation is done by Pharmaceutical Affairs and Food Sanitation Council, that is PAFSC. PAFSC communicate their opinion to MHLW, and then MHLW make the final decision and communicate it to us as an applicant, right? After the decision, MHLW published information in a government gazette as a MHLW ministerial notification. So this was all about the orphan drug regulation in Japan. But before we end this video, do you know what are the regulatory bodies involved for the orphan drug designation in Australia? If you know the answer, then let me know in the comment section. If you don't know, then don't worry. We'll discuss that in the next upcoming videos. Till then, let's stay tuned.